implement vertical integration. But in achieving this, we've been able to drive innovation through all aspects of the business, giving us a speed and flexibility that previously just wasn't there. And now there just isn't any part of the business that we can't get in and directly influence, should we feel the need to. Well, as I said at the start, this has been a momentous year for us. And one highlight that our entire team shared in was when Ashley was named as the overall New Zealand winner in the Ernst & Young Entrepreneur of the Year competition. And that meant he got to go to Monte Carlo to be inducted into the World Entrepreneurs Hall of Fame. The World Entrepreneur of the Year finals in Monte Carlo is a major celebration of success. Ashley, of course, was quite relieved that he got to just walk up to the stage and didn't have to be lowered in the hula hoop. That would have been a strong hula hoop, as he was inducted into the World Entrepreneur Hall of Fame. But the 4 days in Monte Carlo is about far more than competition.
This is the most amazing opportunity because normally we go to a lot of networking around the world, but here everyone's already been vetted, they've already been checked out, they've got the stamp of approval, and you can walk straight up to them. They know we were talking to a successful entrepreneur and they just love to tell their stories.
And that's exactly what he did. Now, one story that really impressed Ashley, and one he asked us to share with you, is that of Lord Philip Harris, who in his mid-60s, as the head of the biggest carpet retailer in the UK, was the victim of a hostile takeover. His story, whatever business you're in, is truly inspirational.
I was very disappointed of being taken over. I tried to buy it back myself and take it private. It didn't happen. One of the reasons when I sold the business, it was that I had no competition clause in the contract. So I actually sold out in August. We opened our first shop in Carpetright in November. I think it was 11th of November, 20 years ago this year. And since then, we've opened a store every 10 days for 20 years. And it's been exciting. We've got a great team of people. Everyone's motivated, and we have a motto, believe and win.
And that belief is surely more relevant to business today than ever before, for it's the believers and winners who succeed. Rarely do you read of the triumph of a doubter and a loser. So what actually is Ashley taking away from Monte Carlo?
About 1,000 business cards. Just great contacts, people I can call up at any time. You know, you never know when, because a lot of diverse businesses, a lot of people I've talked to haven't had any relation to our type of business, but we're all learning from each other, and I got total confidence to pick up the phone no matter where I am in the world and call them up for a chat. Absolutely.
On leaving Monaco, Ashley popped over to the UK during a typical English summer, as you can see. Ashley, wife Linda and Noel Davis visited farms in the UK to have a look at best practice over there. You know, all it took to make this visit happen was a few phone calls, but the sharing of knowledge and expertise was mutually beneficial and appreciated on both sides. And it's this kind of global communication that keeps us in New Zealand moving forward. Now, during the day, he met up with a large group of English farmers, and Ashley couldn't contain himself when they talked of their chances in the Rugby World Cup of 2011. Of course, the scale of operations in the UK are somewhat larger than ours back in New Zealand, but the principles remain the same. Now, there's a true vegetarian. Before leaving, we took a look at a region of the UK that's been growing watercress for over 200 years. Interestingly, no, amazingly, the UK's demand for watercress is bigger than their appetite for baby greens. So could we turn Australasia around? Are we going to make Puha sexy? Well, you'll just have to wait and see on that one. Something that came out of our win in the Entrepreneur of the Year is that horticulture can be sexy. It's really important that we all celebrate events like this and that we share such successes. And maybe more to the point, promote this industry as one that's exciting, innovative, inspirational and rewarding. A lot of young people have jobs that have no tangible end product. But you know, when you talk to our young guys and girls down at the farm or in the factory, they get a real buzz out of seeing what they produce selling in the supermarkets to their family and friends. We shouldn't ever underestimate how important having a sense of pride is. And of course, it doesn't hurt that our products are both healthy and nutritious. You know, it's a pretty easy formula. Look after your staff and they'll look after your business. So, A few years ago, we had 28 contract growers, and now we grow all our own. You know, it's a challenge to encourage young people into horticulture, but you've got to believe that it is possible. We are constantly seeking better and more effective ways of doing things, and in that vein, we listen to our people, because they are the ones at the sharp end. They see the problems, and on so many occasions, it's their insight, their unique insight, that will help us find the solutions. When it comes to our processing plants, of course, there are many, many legislated procedures to follow. But they're all there for a reason. Traceability is key. In every aspect of horticulture, we need to be able to trace the product in the shopper's basket right back to the field in which it was grown. As you've heard, we've grown the business from alfalfa to over 200 lines. But does that mean we can now sit back? Well, in the words of one of the entrepreneurs we met in Monte Carlo, if you stand still, you're dead. Our business is about growing things, but we've learned that every business is about growth. But just like on the farm, growth must be managed and nurtured in every aspect. We've also come to realize that your people are your most important asset. What use is a new harvester if you've no one who knows how to drive it? Best practice means good practice. Few fail by doing the right thing. Now, talking about doing the right thing, we'd like to share with you a fact that we're very proud of. We are now carbon neutral, and we are in fact the first salad company in the whole world to be fully recognized as carbon neutral throughout our entire company. To be honest, it really doesn't matter what you or I might think about carbon footprints and emission trading schemes, because they are a reality. They are here to stay. And we need, as an industry, in fact, more to the point, we need as a country to get our collective heads around the issue and take a leading role globally. Why? Well, because we as Kiwis can. On behalf of all of us, and I do mean all of us at New Zealand Fresh Cuts, thank you for watching and sharing our journey so far.